Hello, guys. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the first episode of the BLVE Podcast. I hope you're all doing excellent. Um, I just want to make sure everything's going all right, which it seems to be. And yeah, welcome everybody. I'm pretty excited. If you guys don't know me, my name is Lawrence. I go by Blue, or my company and everything I do is related to Blue. My artist name is Blue Blood. I have my hat on here right now. If you're listening, I'm in my closet right now. I'm kind of doing a whole thing where I'm recording my videos in my closet. For anybody that's watching, I can kind of show you real quick. I've shown this around, but I literally have my shirts. I got some figurines up there, some Pokemon figurines or whatnot. So, anyways, yeah. Today I'm going to talk about my experience about of. I need to practice this. I need to talk about this real quick. Okay, so first off, we're going to talk about my experience of coming from Spain, born and raised there, going all the way to Long Beach, finding a job. How is the process? How can you do it if you are thinking, is it worth it? Because it's really expensive, right? So, I'm gonna talk about my step to step how I did everything, right? So before I even like moved to Long Beach, right? Thankfully, my dad's friend was willing to give me a place, and I wasn't thinking on staying here on the long run. For me, I didn't know how it was to be here and how many opportunities there were. So what I ended up thinking that like my whole plan was to come here, save up some money for like 6 7 months, and then go travel to Japan. But in Spain right now, like work situations, especially in the countryside, it is very hard, especially if you don't have any like job kind of experience or whatnot, right? So, anyways, yeah, I ended up just coming here, and after a while, after a few months, I kind of decided to stay here. But I will kind of get to that point. Excuse me, I gotta like get a little comfy because we're gonna be here for a bit. So, as I said, before I even moved, I had to work for my dad just to pay for my one-way ticket to come here. And I think at the time, which was 2.5 years ago, it was January 2023. It was around like $200 to come here, just one way. I think nowadays you can get a ticket around that price as well, just one way. And yeah, once I got here, thankfully, as I said, I stayed with my dad's friends, but I essentially only had like 6 months for me to move out if I wanted to stay longer, right? So it was an option in my head. I'm like, okay, if I want to stay longer, I got to make enough money to move out in 6 months. But my biggest concern was the fact that I moved in with only $100. Now, $100 in California, especially Southern California, it is not going to do too much for you. I needed to get a job ASAP. I tried getting a job before I moved here, but it was super complicated. So I needed a American phone number. Now, this is the first step. The first thing I did is I walked out. Well, I arrived at nighttime, but I woke up and I went straight to the AT&T store and got myself a prepaid phone number, right? So you can get a phone number. It's like $50 to activate it and the first month, and then after that it's like $30. So that was like half of my money gone just by then. And at least I had a phone number, so immediately right after what I did is just started applying to all the jobs. I know a lot of people recommended me not to apply to McDonald's, but I'm like I need whatever, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll just apply to McDonald's. I had an interview there, like literally the day after, and I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy. I can actually like have interviews here, right? But it wasn't the best. Like I could tell why people didn't want me to apply there because I know I'm capable of more. But it's not even that. Like people that work at McDonald's are hardworking sometimes as well, and they're just trying to pay their bills or whatnot. but they were trying to ask for my physical social security card, which is always not a very good sign. Like I had my passport on hand, and I had an actual social security number that I could process through the system, but thankfully I didn't go through that. I had a few other interviews in other like smaller places, but I ended up finding a job like the third day I moved in at this like local pizza place. It was a family owned business, and it was cashier, minimum wage. But I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna work there until I find something better, you know. Uh, so on my like third day, I remember telling the interviewer like, "Oh, I just moved here like 3 days ago." And they were like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Like, why? Like, this is so random, right?" And at the time, I didn't think how crazy that sounded, but thankfully they offered me a job, and I worked as a cashier there a week in of me moving here. Now you gotta be very open, like very open when it comes to like getting a job here. Like you can't just be very picky, especially if you're like low on money. Because for me, in that 1 week, I spent my money on essentially like my phone, and then my phone number, and then I was getting like pre-made fucking Mary Korea like pre-made meals for like $4, and I was just like living out of that because I was pretty much paying everything myself. Um, Thankfully, my dad's friend didn't charge me rent, so that was a big plus. But if you are paying rent, like, just bear in mind that you just gotta like fucking apply anywhere, and the first place that kind of hires you, just start working. The one good thing about California is that you can just walk out, or you can just send the message and say I quit, and you are good. You don't have to like send paperwork or anything. And I know it sounds really rude, but you can always start working, and then if another company that you like more reaches out, you can always just quit and go to the next one. But that's my biggest advice I can give, is just get the first opportunity because there's so many opportunities, right? Now I worked in this place for for 2.5 weeks. They weren't giving me too many hours, but my first paycheck came out to be like $450, and I was like, "Oh shit, $450!" I know that doesn't sound like too much money for Californians, but for me, as someone that grew up in Spain, I was like, "Whoa, that is some crazy money right there. $450, like that's already like the price of the ticket, pretty almost the ticket to go to Japan, you know." So like, oh, easy, like I can definitely afford a trip to Japan, right? But yeah, I only lasted 2.5 weeks because the cook was harassing me. Like he would go to the customers and just make excuses why he was slow. He was saying that I was bad at my job, blah blah blah. And the last day I was there, because I was applying for more jobs, right? I'm like, okay, I need something else. Like I don't want to stay here. And so yeah, essentially, the last day that I had my final straw, because they weren't even giving me any fucking food. Like they were just giving me the scraps at the end of the night. The fucking cook went outside with a customer and started smoking weed. Bear in mind, that customer offered me weed beforehand. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, big shocker, right? Like 2 weeks in, and I already have like a customer offering me weed. Whoa, what is going on here, right? I don't drink anymore. Like I used to drink like for a bit, but I haven't. I've been like pretty much sober for a while. I've only been drunk like one time in the entirety of the time that I've been in the States, and that was like the worst day. But regardless of that, like I've never smoked, I've never liked anything, and weed culture in California is very big. It's a very social thing to do. So if you're moving from somewhere else and you don't smoke weed, I'm just gonna say that you are kind of putting away a lot of social situations, but in a way you are gonna save yourself a lot of money, because people spend so much money. Like I cannot even emphasize how much money people spend on weed on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. It's crazy. So Yeah, it's kind of like a dagger, a two-sided dagger. So that was a shocker, right? Another shocker is obviously like the homeless over here. I I've seen homeless before, but I've never seen homeless in like fucking like drugged out of their mind. After 2.5 years, I've normalized it so much. I will move on later to the fact that I eventually got to move out to my own apartment. But I'm in downtown Long Beach right now, which I wasn't. And I have my windows closed, but you may still hear like people just start like screaming. They'll be in the middle of the trainway, and the train people will start screaming I I will move that to the next part because I have very funny stories when it comes to interactions with people in the train and people in the street. Like I have, oh my god, like that is something I like is I have so many experiences I can talk to about because it is every day something crazy. But going back, once I quit, I had so I got my first paycheck like 450, and then my next one was like $200. So I had like 650. I didn't have to pay rent, thankfully, but I still had to pay for food and I had to pay for other stuff. And we're in like January, so this is like late January, and I was still applying to places. I wasn't hearing from any places, and what I did in the meantime. Pro tip: if you can't find a job, there are other opportunities you can get. You can get a bike for like $20. I know $20 might sound like a lot, but get a fucking like a shitty ass fucking bike, and you can DoorDash. You can do other shit. And what I did it was I walked some dogs and I made like $100 just walking dogs while I was waiting. Um, uh, I think my favorite one was this like big like golden Labrador. Oh my god, it was like a mixed breed, huge ass fucking dog. Oh, it was so good. Like a good experience, you know. Um, and oh, pro tip, there's a couple there's a couple apps if you do come here. I used Wag, but there's also Rover. If you end up using Wag, which is the one I use, if you have free time, like if you're just looking to get money, just pick up the ones where they need recurring dates. Like they need someone to go in for like the whole weekend on the exact same day or the exact same hour. You know, what I did is I went on my bike for like 30 minutes to walk a dog for another 30 minutes, or it was two dogs. You take pictures of them while they're walking. If they poop or pee, whatever, you gotta like notify them. And for 30 minutes, it was like $20. Guess I got some tip. So for 3 days, that was like $60, and then I did some other ones. When you are starting off, it's a little bit complicated to get people to accept your rides, or your walk petitions. But once you have a few reviews, you can get more and more. And after a bit, I was able to start my job at Chipotle, which I have some Chipotle merchandising over there. And I had, okay, I don't even know how to start this, but I didn't even know what Chipotle was. Honestly, like I didn't know it was a fast food chain. I had no idea what Chipotle was when I first started moving there. So my whole job at Chipotle, like when they hired me, was to make the tortilla chips, and I learned what food quality is in the states. And after that first day, I didn't eat fast food at all. Like I rarely eat fast food. By the way, I forgot I had ice cream here, and my ice cream is currently melting. But I'm just gonna eat a little bit. Mm, good shit right there. Anyways, um, when they put me in the fryer the first day, there was so much shit, like stuck in the fucking in the fryer, right? That when I was putting the chips, it would take like 2 minutes per basket in order for it to cook, and I had to do three big ass fucking boxes, like big, like I'm looking like big ass fucking boxes every single day. Sorry if I'm moving the camera a lot, but I just have it attached to my to my laptop. Um, so I told them straight up, like, oh, I can clean this shit because this is nasty, nasty, and like the quality of the chips were bad. But I will give them props to Chipotle. Their food is like decently fresh in comparison to most other fast food places. Because I've made friends with other people from other like fast food chains, and when it comes to like quality of food, it's pretty decent. I'm just saying like fryer food in the States in general, like I can't eat like chips really because it makes me sick. Anything fried, it like just makes my stomach like die. So my that's one of my pro tips. If you can avoid like fried food, even though it's very popular over here, do it. Unless you can see the fucking fryer, like trust me, if you can see the fryer and it's like somewhat clean, then you can go for it. Or if it's like a nicer place. But otherwise, there's companies where they just don't clean it, or they'll do it like once a month. There's a whole policy in Chipotle. But when I got there, they told me that they didn't clean it in like 3 months. And I'm like, oh my god, this is the nastiest thing. So just I'm just throwing it out there. You just be worried about food quality here. 'Cause it is not the same as Europe, especially Spain, where the food is so fucking good wherever you go. Oh my god. Anyways, I started off as a chip person. I ended up going to front of the house, but I fucking hated it. I realized front of the house was not for me pretty quickly. At least here in the States, people are ruthless. You have managers in the background telling you like, don't know, don't give him a full scoop of a fucking chicken. But I'm like, no, these people have to fucking eat. Some of these people are humongous as well. Like if I give them a little shit, they're gonna fucking kill me once I get out of work. And I'm not even kidding, they might fucking eat me. But so, whenever the managers wouldn't see, I'm like fucking throwing extra food in there. I'm like, oh, you want rice? Here's all the fucking rice you want. Here, boom, boom. I would make big ass fucking burritos, big ass shit, because people deserve the food, you know. So if you were ever in the traffic circle, Long Beach Chipotle, and I was giving you your food, you knew I was just giving you decent portions. Now, when it comes to pricing or price or pay, sorry, I was getting paid at the first job minimum wage, which is $15, and I did get some tips, but the tips were fine. So I was getting paid like maybe 16 an hour on average, but at Chipotle I was getting paid like 17, which was a couple dollars over the minimum wage. Uh, so I'm like, oh, okay, I have like a decent pay, you know. I will go into how much I'm getting paid now because it's kind of a crazy difference, and what you can do to like go up kind of your career, and what thing you can do to like get paid more. Anyways, I started as a chip person. I went to front of the house, and I was on the line just making food. I tried one day being a fucking a cashier. Was horrible. Was not good. It was not good. Oh my god. If you're a cashier at Chipotle, at least in our location, you have to attend the customers, you have to bag all the shit, and then you have to go all the way back, grab all the delivery shit, attend the fucking DoorDash people. It's too much human interaction. I don't like interacting with humans that much. So I'm like, fuck no. So I kept on pushing because I like cooking. So I told them like, oh, just put me in the grill, please. And one person quit. So they had a space and they're like, oh, you want to be a cook? Okay, here, you know? And it's a lot of fucking food you gotta make. And it was hard at first, very very hard when they put me because no training, no nothing. But looking back, like it's really not that complicated. It's kind of like a big buffet. You just gotta fucking prep like as much as you can. So you gotta make rice, the meat, fajita veggies, and then like the fucking queso and another sauce. Anyways, yeah. Oh, and the beans. There you go. So you just like put the chicken, make as much chicken as you can, put the steak, and then whatever extra you have, you just put it in the hot box, and you just keep on going and going. same thing with the rice. You can get like three fucking big pans, and you just like keep on fucking doing, and then after you're working for a bit, you know how much food the company goes through, so you can like portion it out. It's really not that complicated. Like I kind of recommend Chipotle if you want some experience. Uh, just beware to not be there in the long run. Like it is not worth it. So when I started there, I didn't really get along with the people there, but I that's another part I want to get into. Social relationships with people here in the States, at least in California. Now, people here are very open to talk to you, which I am not, like, I was not used to that at all. Like, where I come from, people are very close-minded. Like, if they don't know you, or if you don't know one of their people, it's kind of hard to socialize unless you're drunk. Like, being drunk is kind of like the only way to socialize in Spain. It seems like there's obviously other ways, but that, people won't say hello to you on the street. Like they'll look up and down and they'll see what you're wearing. Here, if you're wearing something unique, they'll be like, "Oh, cool fucking shirt." But I was very close, so I would just put my headphones on and just do whatever. But later, like little by little, I got more comfortable and I was talking to more and more people, and I got to meet a few cool people there. Some others not very cool, and I was working there for 8 months actually, 8 9 months. Yeah, I stayed there. Like once I moved out later on, which is kind of a spoiler, but I mean I'm here still. uh, I stayed there for a little bit longer, and then something happened. Now I won't get into what happened, and I want to touch a few other things before I get to the point of me actually moving out, because I feel like there's a lot to talk to about. But oh, my cat is trying to enter. Never mind me. Uh, that's the other big thing I have is my cat. My cat is like something I worked very hard to achieve. Anyways, so yeah, social relationships over here. Just my one thing is just be open. Obviously, like people here are very open minded, you know, but to actually hang out with people out of work, it's usually like the best way if you want to get to hang out with these people. It has to be either before work, but most likely after work. Now, it's gonna be a little bit hard if if you get out as late as I was getting out, because at first I started off in the morning, but later on I was getting out like at 2 3 in the morning, so it's kind of hard to hang out with people at 2 or 3 in the morning. But people are very open for you to like hang out. You just gotta like be very direct, and just don't be a weirdo about it. Like just send them a text or just tell them like, oh, you want to go watch a movie? Like if you have some sort of common interest, just go to them and just fucking tell them straight up. And if they don't want to, just don't be fucking weird about it. But I got to have the opportunity to hang out with a few people at work, and honestly, like it was pretty fun. The other tip, some might find annoying, is the strategy of not having a car because you just moved to the country. You can use this to your advantage of like, oh, if you live nearby, can you drop me off? You might, depending on the person, you might have to pay gas money or not. It just depends on who you are, and if you're cool about it. It just depends on a lot of things. I felt really bad asking people to give me rides, but since I was hardworking, I feel like they didn't mind as much. But I got to know some really cool people just by them like giving me rides back. I still follow a few on Instagram or whatnot, but yeah, that's kind of the social side of things. Now, creating deep connections, it's a little bit harder. Now, like deeper connections, it just depends on the availability of the other person and the willingness they have, you know. Since I've been here, it's only really been one person that I've gone out to like shows. I've gone out to like do a lot of fucking things, and they have the same kind of mentality. With other people, sometimes they will only contact you if they want something from you. Like if they're in a bad spot, they like maybe want a job or they want money or they want something. So just be worried about who is actually real and who is trying to take advantage of you, because a lot of people will try to take advantage of your kindness. Um, but yeah, I guess key points, just be open to talking to people, but just kind of be worried about the people you want to be around with, because there are really fucked up people, and then there's just people, all sorts of people. You know, there's a lot of diversity, especially here in Long Beach. There's a lot of diversity. Now, I think I've reached a few key points. I'm just gonna double check my other key points. Um, oh, so in the house, like okay, my day to day kind of things. I do want to reach to that, right? So if you're coming in here, you're like, okay, what is my day to day? How does it look? How what do I do? You know what is there to do? Because there is a lot, and then there's not a lot, and then it's a lot of time management that you want to kind of do, right? So, for example, let's touch grocery shopping, right? Like grocery shopping is very expensive, especially now with all the inflation or whatnot. It's gotten ridiculous. Like a dozen eggs is like $11 now. It's gotten up even a little more. So fucking crazy, right? If you're coming in here and you're getting paid a minimum wage, you want to try to get like some sort of tips out of it. So just try like I like if you can like maybe a server, even though like server is a very hard position to get, but otherwise like try to get some sort of tips for you to like help pay those groceries, because it is so expensive now. I'm not gonna encourage you to do this, because there's very many different cultures, but I will say that there is a law in California right now where it is not a criminal offense for you to steal from the grocery store. Allegedly, I have never done it, but there is a lot of ways for you to save money as long as you're not bothering the people working at these places, okay? Now, if you want these suggestions on how to do this shit, there's many ways. Just allegedly send me a message, and I can give you step by step instructions. But no, low key, like it's kind of like a survive or die situation, especially now in California. Like if you're planning, or if you already have a plan of moving here, you are paying so much money in rent, on food, on like so much fucking things like transportation or whatnot. It is super expensive. So when it comes to money, you gotta be very smart. If you have some sort of addiction like weed, alcohol, or whatnot, that's just gonna add on top of it. One way that I've been able to survive is I don't have any really addictions besides like video games. So I'll spend money on like video games, but I'll try not to play like free to play games, because like the one game I have spent a lot of money is fucking Pokemon TCG Pocket. Fucking like anything gacha. Like I'm prone to addiction, so I try to just buy a game where I can like play the whole story through. So just be like very worried about money. Now, there was like a study right now where it said if you have $5,000 in your bank, you are 50% richer than the entire population of the world, and that's because there is a lot of debt, like a lot of debt. So personally, I am not in debt. Like I have a good amount of money. I'm starting my new job pretty soon, but do not go into debt if possible. Okay, there's different ways in going into debt. It can be through college, car, house, and maybe a business side. Interest rates, will fuck people over. And I've seen a lot of comments of like, oh, when I got my debt, they gave me 45,000, but now I'm paying like 80 fucking thousand, or I paid 45,000 and I still have 15,000 left to pay. Interest rates will fuck you over. There's a lot of traps. Like right now, DoorDash, Uber Eats have this kind of technique of fucking you over where you can press the option of buy now, pay later. Don't fall into that shit. Like for me, you can try building your credit, but there's many different other ways than using a credit card. I feel like credit card is a little bit of a trap. If you can, just use a debit and just manage your money as much as you can. Now, investing money, there are different ways of investing money as well. And that is something I started doing around 6, 7 months ago. I played the stock market for a bit. I made some profit and then the stock market kind of crashed, so I'm kind of even right now. But I invested like $700-800 in like Pokemon cards right before like the boom. And my 700, 800 are now like $1,500. I know it sounds crazy to invest that much money into like fucking Pokemon cards and shit like that, but you gotta be smart with your money, as they said. Like, if you are 100% guaranteed, you obviously don't want to spend all your fucking money on shit. You can, like actually get money. One thing that I'm trying to do as well is get some online income. I love doing what I'm doing right now, like doing this podcast right now, just talking about my experiences. It is something that in the future I will come back to and I'll be like, oh shit, this was me. Like in 2025, May, we're in April, January. What month are we in? April. We're in April. Never mind. We're not in May yet. We're in April 24th. So, anyways, this is something I can look back to and kind of be happy about myself on where I am in the future. But, yeah, like another thing I want to emphasize. I know there's a lot, and I should have probably like done this a little bit better. I'm a little bit all over the place. Just make sure you take as many pictures and videos as you can so that you can look in the future your past things. I have a picture of me eating my first In-N-Out burger the first day I arrived here. That was the first meal. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm eating a fucking burger. you know and for me, thankfully, I grew up learning English and I know English because of my dad. Now, if you have a little bit of struggles in English, people are not judgy at all. Like they won't like tease you about like having an accent or whatnot. As I said, it's very, very diverse. Now, if you have another language at your disposal, if it's Spanish and you're gonna work in the kitchen, it's very good. Like me learning or me knowing English and Spanish in the kitchen is very, very good. And I want to save some more for future episodes, but when it comes to like pay differences from when I started to where I am right now, my first job at the pizza place, 15 plus tip, so like 16. Chipotle was like 17, 17.25, and then my next job after that was the Queen Mary. Now, if you don't know the Queen Mary, like the most famous place in Long Beach, like the most historical, monumental place. I got kind of lucky because they were just reopening after COVID or whatnot, and they needed a cook, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll just learn whatever they need. Uh, I had my ups and downs there. I'm gonna save that for another episode. But there, I was getting paid 19, and then they gave us a raise to like 23, right after like 9 months working there. So in the span of like a year and a half, I went from like 16 to 23. And in my new job that I just started right now, well, I did my first day and I gotta like start like working. Getting paid 25 an hour, with like first pay, and it can go up to like 27.50. So in the span of like 2.5 years, I'm pretty much gonna get to like 10 over $10 more per hour, which is kind of crazy, you know. And also all this experience when it comes to like cooking or not, that I can later take back to Spain, or I can take back to Europe and like get another job, you know. It's fucking crazy. I chose my career path to be a cook just because I love traveling. So in the future as well, if I want to, I can go and like maybe stay with a family and like cook for them or whatnot. It's kind of a crazy idea, but it's something I can do. You know, like people need to eat, so the skill high gap, or the skill ceiling is very high. You know, it's something you can continuously learn and learn. And my new job is actually Din Tai Fung, which is a Taiwanese cuisine type of style, something I have never done before, but I'm very excited about. So yeah, you can just keep learning and learning like all these different cuisines, all these different stuff, if it's for you. But it's very stressed, as you can see. I have like I look tired, you know, because of how much stress I can give. But just have fun with it if you can, you know. And if you don't like it, just apply, and you will find something else. As long as you're respectful, there's a lot of like weird people, or there's a lot of people that are just not good candidates. That as long as you dress up nice to the interview and you're very humble and you can speak very well, you are able to just go and get the job. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, when I quit the Queen Mary, because I will be open about it, I just quit. I got this next job in the next 2 weeks. So like I did my first interview, and 30 minutes after, I got my a message saying that they wanted me, or they wanted me for a second interview. I went there for the second interview, and they gave me the job. So I'm just waiting for me to like be in the schedules or whatnot. But there are so many opportunities, so don't ever feel entitled about just sticking to one place or whatnot. And if you guys are watching this and have any questions, I can help you guys. Like, I know the process of like, if you're moving in here, uh, and you have to get an apartment and you have to get this, there are so many different requirements, and there's so many different types of advice that I've learned just living here, that I can help you guys. Like, just put it in the comments. I will talk about it in the next few episodes, because there's a lot of knowledge that you will learn in the hard way. You know, like there are things that you might think that are like simple, like, oh, like moving into an apartment, you just gotta find a place and you pay for it. But no, you need credit, you need roommates, you need this, you can rent a room, or you can rent a whole apartment. Then you gotta pay utilities, and then you gotta pay for this, and then you gotta pay for that, and then it's like so much fucking money out of the fucking drain. You gotta pay security deposit, and then you gotta pay your rent, and then it's like, what the fuck, where's all my money? So anyways, it's a harder process than you might think. I underestimated a little bit, but made it work. If you have any advice for me as well, I would like to hear that as well. And that being said, I will be uploading these podcasts hopefully weekly. I really, really want to like upload these podcasts on top of my longer YouTube videos and the YouTube shorts that I've been uploading with quizzes of dubstep and rhythm. I'm happy you guys are enjoying those. That's kind of what is getting my traffic, like through my channel right now. And my dad actually made a channel just recently as well, and he's gotten kind of crazy as well. Anyways, there's a lot to talk about. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode in the first steps into moving to California as a teenager. And I am currently 21 years old. I moved in when I just turned 19, and it's been a crazy experience so far. Next up, I will talk about my crazy experiences. I promise there's a lot. So I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.